Gambia here. I think the police would have been of good help because I think cases that have to do with suicide, I think they can establish certain factors because I believe these are domain to investigation, questioning, and interrogation to know what happened. Now, I'll give you one practical example. Like it happened in my area in Khartoum, and also in Medina because they are all neighboring places. The first one will happen at Khartoum is it just I think it just this year it's around early February, March it happened, and then he's a UN worker. I think it's something like a UN worker because when I heard of it, my friend is working in the hotel industry. He does some programs with him, and knowing my friend very well, and then he's also closer to the immediate person who committed suicide. What I realized, when I went, we were having a conversation, I said, "Boy, what happened?" Because I know somebody that you know is you are on the same line. You have some consultation with him, training regard to that suicide that happened. He told me vividly, at times, as my brother said, we see some of the manifest triggers, okay? But what happened, like, we sideline them. We don't give that, we don't pay heed to it because we feel okay, it's a normal thing that every human being is obliged to do or doing whatever he feels like doing. Because according to my friend, because it was most of the time they have interaction. He told me I understand from the man that psychologically it's from the genetical. I don't know, maybe those in the medical side will explain more. Meaning that what he was trying to explain is that it's from the family line. Okay? At times it like he said even because he's from US or UK, something like that. I'm not sure. But he said according from conversation, most of the time the man will literally say, "Come on, I am tired." And this person who is well off, and the guy is a Gambian. Imagine somebody is well off. And then he was like, "What are you tired of?" He said, "No, I'm tired. I have everything." And only a wife and a baby girl, a nursing baby girl. And he said, "I'm tired." And this guy said, "You are not tired." He said, and he told me, "With all the wealth I have my wealth, have everything, but yet still I'm tired." So that brought me down. This is not something because the man doesn't smoke. He doesn't drink alcohol. So it clicks to me. I say, "Come on, this has to be."
Yes, not to cut you short. Yeah, actually, suicide risk factor, of course, deals with family history of committing suicide. Take for example, if you have had a brother or a dad who committed suicide when he was at 30, and then when he did that, he was abusing drugs, or when he did that, he was in a stressful situation. He had a loss, maybe the wife died, or the wife gave birth to someone earlier, and then he died in a detrimental situation, or sort of a thing though. And then you grow up to 30, and you experience a similar loss along that line, you probably have a tendency of committing suicide. Or even if you do not experience any of that loss, getting to the age of where your immediate family member has committed a suicide is a clear indication or a clear risk factor of someone within the family to also commit a suicide. Suicide is so connected with a history in the family, as well as abusing all these sorts of substances. It doesn't only have to do with abusing substance, being sick of depression or chronic illnesses, even not diseases or disorders that have to do with your brain. Being diagnosed of, I've experienced in a situation with someone who's lived his life, he's been driving almost all over Africa and then had an accident. He was amputated both limbs from knee down. For about 30 years, you've ever used your limb to drive, to do whatever you want to do. And today, both limbs have been cut off. You cannot walk. All you do is to use a cane, or a walker to do what you want to. Or most things, people have to help you. That is so stressful. In combination with a diagnosis
diagnosed of HIV, that you do understand that it's not going to get better in any way. Maybe I'm just waiting for a time, I'm just enjoying whatever I have to enjoy now. But this thing is not going to leave me. I will die of it. These are tormenting situations to the brain that some people cannot handle. And the individual end up committing suicide because you think you're worthless, and obviously that's difficult, except if you have a strong brain to be able to handle stressful situations. But losing both limbs at one time and then being diagnosed with HIV in combination is so stressful and so difficult for people to handle. Cancer is not curable. Everyone that has a cancer, unless if it is been detected earlier and that part has been cut off to help you heal. But then if it gets to a stage where it metastasizes in the body, it's everywhere else in the body, you're not going to do better with that. It's just pain, pain, and pain all over. No pain medication can kill off the whole pain of cancer. So this can click to someone that it's better you die than to live with pain entirely for the next 30 years.
Was the initial that was the initial issue. But then until Emily Durkheim did an extensive study of suicide when he discovered that suicide has a link with social factors. He said social integration, suicide relates to what? Social integration or social ties connecting individual to society. So the stronger the social bond of the individual, the less likely the individual will engage or commit suicide. And then the stronger the bond, the less likely. The less when the bond is not strong, then there is high likelihood that the individual will commit suicide. To him, suicide is common among the unmarried because we know that if, for example, if you are divorced, probably you have a lot of things going on in your mind, and you have a high tendency to commit suicide. And also among what the young, because they are very ambitious. So when they realize that their career path has an obstacle or a stumbling block, there is high destined to commit that suicide. So what I want to say in a nutshell is studies has indicated that suicide is not always linked with mental illness, but sometimes the societal factors. For when people realize that they are born when society is not very strong, then they can commit that suicide. So, in fact, countries that legalize suicide, which is called physician-assisted suicide, countries like Switzerland, countries like Luxembourg, and Netherlands, in order to qualify to physician-assisted suicide, you must be of a person with a sound mind to be able to do that. So sometimes they have to do the cost-benefit analysis when they realize that probably their family wealth, if it is spent on them, it can drain the resources when they may not get better. So instead of using those resources, they will prefer someone to assist them to die rather than spending the resources on So I would conclude by saying that it is important to also look at the other dimension of suicide, because it's not always linked with mental health, but sometimes also the relationship between individual and society. Matters a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think what you mentioned, euthanasia, physician-assisted suicide, helping someone to die because he doesn't think it's worth living for. Of course, this has to do with an individual who has a sound mind, like you said, who's able to make an informed decision. In medicine, generally, someone who doesn't have a sound mind, someone who is not sane, cannot take a decision by him or herself. So you cannot ask for euthanasia
if you are not stable mentally, that will be an abuse of the individual because the physician or whosoever is assisting in that regard has been trained to understand that before you could do a medical procedure for a person, we must have found that this person can clearly think and judgments are being intact and can make an informed decision. An informed decision means you explain everything surrounding that issue that the individual is in, like the consequences and then the benefits, all in totality. And the individual is able to absorb this information, understand it thoroughly well, and then even understanding it wouldn't change their mind and end up signing to say, I still want to die, despite understanding everything that you tell me. That is euthanasia. So suicide essentially does with societal factors. That is why people have been withdrawn. People who have been withdrawn from society, live all by themselves, does not deal with people. They end up being depressed. And that is why the earlier research that talks about depression is not false. It's the extended research that has been conducted that extend to say even societal withdrawal, not associated with people, not conforming with societal norms and values, and then not having a strong bond with the people. If you don't conform with societal values and norms, of course, you will have trouble dealing with people. And then if you don't deal with people, the tendency that you be depressed is higher. In that regard, suicide can be prevalent. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon once again. I have two questions for the speaker over there. So I have this friend, she's a health personnel. He abuses drugs. And the excuse he will give you is, I have long hours at work, I get traumatized sometimes, and the like. And these are some of the things that most of them will tell you. They'll always give you a specific reason for abusing a specific kind of drug. And they will insist that they are not addicted to it, that they believe at any point they want. So how do you deal with such people when you know that you have a family member and friend who abuses a specific kind of drug and you want to have a person to stop that drug? That's my first question. And the issue of suicide in this country, yes, we don't have a specific research to say that so number of people do commit suicide every year in Gambia. But how do we indicate that somebody might commit suicide, and how do we have the person prevent committing suicide?
Thank you. Regarding the first question, I think that's a difficult situation for you, but of course you can handle it. Having a healthcare worker who you expect to know pretty much that most people abusing drugs is difficult to handle. Of course, you can deal with it. You can work around it. All you have to do is have the person understand the consequences of the drug being abused. It's rather very common for people who abuse this drug to find excuses, flimsy excuses, to say, I use this for that, I use this for this. Yeah, of course, everyone who uses a drug uses it for a purpose, either to help you cope with something that you cannot handle, to fit in within the society, or to be in the level with the people that you deal with. You will, of course, have a reason to use it, but there is no actual benefit of abusing a drug. You get to put this to the person to understand that. And then when you get addicted to the drug, everything that you work for, being a healthcare professional, maybe sometimes you cannot help your client. You'll find it difficult to make a decision that will benefit someone whose life is dependent on you. You can kill someone without even knowing, because when you're hardened, you're on drug, you don't know what decision to take. And the decision you want to make is not of benefit to the client, but you do take it anyway because you're not able to make a clear one. So you can kill someone without knowing, and then you might do half-assed job for some people. Maybe you started a job that is not finished because you needed a drug. You do it so quickly and at a rush to get back to whatever business that you want to do to use the drug. So you could read extended wise to find information regarding suicide and then help this person to come to light. It's gonna take some time. It's not going to work overnight to take someone off using drug when they have used it for a lengthy period. That's difficult, but of course you can try to help the person by informing
regularly, with time the brain will get to understand whatever information you put to the person in question. And secondly, remind me again your question.
The second question is, how do we identify people who might commit suicide in our communities, and how do we prevent suicide in our communities?
Okay. Yes, suicide, like I mentioned earlier, there are some risk factors that you could take in people who commit suicide. Of course, hardly people just jump up overnight and then kill themselves. They would have been talking about death, or would have been talking about life being meaningless to them, or maybe someone died in their life and is so connected to them. They love that person so very well. And then, if we have a loss, there are a series of steps that we must go through to become ourselves. Should you jump any of these steps, you must come back to the step, or else you wouldn't recover from the loss. That is, actually, you will have a denial to say this person didn't go forever. Maybe one time your brother died, you don't really believe on that day that my brother actually died and will come back. That's a denial. And you have a sense of aggression towards that happening to your brother. You are angry why nature will take your brother away from you and leaving you all alone because you're so connected. That is unfair. And then you will come back to say, oh yeah, this nature, someone will die and people will be born. So we'll all die someday. You get to understand. And at some point, you are depressed. You don't really want to know anything about all this issue. And for a time, you come to accept the existence of your brother dying. Now it's not going to come. It's reality, and you move ahead with your life. So if you jump any of these steps, you will find it difficult to get back to your own self, like the person that you were before your brother died. So if someone hasn't lost money, a person so very dear to you, has a family history of suicide, and is again growing towards that age, at the age where the dear family ended his or her life, there is tendency that the person will commit suicide. So in that regard, you want to pay attention to understand the moves of the client or the person that you think will commit suicide. Or maybe make a will, something so very important to me. Let's say my phone is my best friend and I can't stay a minute without my phone. But all of a sudden, I give away my phone to someone. Yeah, that's a sign that something bad might happen. I might get into something very bad. If someone gives away their valuable possession to a person, that's a click to say you want to find out why really the person is doing that. And arranging everything, putting things in place, like as if you're transferring from the Gambia to another place, from one part of the country to another place, is a sign that someone might be thinking of committing suicide. And clearly saying, I want to die, I think I do not want living. I'm a burden onto my family. That's a clear sign of suicide as well. There are a variety of things, but then we don't pay attention. And most often when people say I want to die, we take it for a joke. Or even homicide. Most people who commit homicide, killing the other person, might have talked about it. If you don't mind, I'll kill you. If you don't mind, I really want to kill you. Or I want to die. So we take it for a joke because in our society, these things are just prevailing on the increase now, but it does not used to happen like this. So when someone says this, even at one time, this is serious. You need to take it seriously and you need to find out what is dropping all this thought into the individual's mind so you can help at any stage. And I think in the prevention measures, it's rather difficult and most people don't seem to understand this. But if you find all this combination of manifestations in the client, all these things that I mentioned that can point out to someone we wanting to end his or her life, you actually have to ask the person with a direct question, not indirect. If the person has a thought at any point in the life, or if the person is thinking about ending the life, killing him or herself, or if the person thinks he is worthless, or if the person thinks he is helpless, does the person have any cross in the mind to say, you are better off dying than living? You want to ask this direct question to the individual. This, on the contrary, wouldn't give the mind for the person to commit suicide, but rather, you want to understand the state. You know you can only help a person once you understand the state. If you don't, you cannot help him in any way. So having to understand that I have a cross in my mind to tell me to kill myself will then help you to understand how you will inform me about my circumstance because I'm in this circumstance. That is why I want to kill myself. I lost a brother. I lost money. I'm having depression. I'm psychotic. And I'm abusing drugs. Society doesn't allow me. The bond with the society is not strong. I'm always by myself. I cannot mingle with people. So if you have found out about all these issues, then you can inform me and then inform me better to understand so I wouldn't kill myself. But then that's how the prevention measure that you can do for someone. Find it out if there is a cross in the mind, what you to die on.
Thank you very much. Actually, you talked about losing someone. Just last year, I lost my mom from cancer, and I went through all these stages that you said that people go through when they lose people. And at some point, I did think of killing myself because the doctor told me that your mom has less than 2 weeks to live, and I had to stay with her in the hospital and the like. But what gave me the push not to go for suicide and stay by her bedside and make sure that she passed through in peace, and because I had siblings who were younger than me, and I knew they needed to see me strong. And I believe as young people, whilst we're growing up, I need to advise everybody from me, from somebody who has gone through some sort of an experience like this, is always have a push, always have a goal in life, always know where you come from. And sometimes this will help you to go through some of these challenges that you go through in life. Now, I think to myself, if I hadn't had those siblings, perhaps I would have just committed suicide because I was like, okay, my mom is gone now, my dad had left me when I was 17, he passed away, so I wouldn't have any purpose in life. So let's always look for a purpose in life. Let's always look for a purpose in life to keep us going, irrespective of what.
But to me also, grief counseling should be also encouraged for people to go through grief counseling. In the Gambia here, I've not seen any unit or any office that is offering such. Now, we allow individuals to go through these griefs, and sometimes if you are crying, especially if you are a boy, they'll come and tell you that a man will cry. So you have to deal with this grief and then try to go through it by yourself. But you cannot hide your feelings, you cannot hide your emotions. They will manifest in another way. Either they come to you in sickness or they come to you in physical violence. So I think it's very important for your unit as a mental health unit, I think, you are coming from, for you to see how best you can create such kind of units across the country where people can go for grief counseling. But of course, to encourage people not to discriminate people who are going for grief counseling, because in the Gambia, anything that you are going that has to do with your emotions, people will joke of it. You'll be joking about it and then people will be laughing of it. So, to me, it's very important the process, the stages of grieving for people to go through it. But in addition to the grief counseling will happen better. Thank you very much.
I think one thing rather unfortunate in Gambia is that people don't really believe in themselves, most of them. Society defines people. Oh yeah, that's possible. So what is important is what you think of yourself to be. You do not have any control over me perceiving about you. Okay. I was saying, in our society, most people don't really believe in themselves. But then we cannot control how people perceive about us, but then we can influence this by believing in ourselves, by taking our own position. How you want to define me, that is a choice that you can make individually. With how I define myself, this is my individual choice. So what is important now is if I'm to take your own definition of me or whether to take my own definition of myself. But what will help me better in my life is to depend on my own definition of myself and conform myself within the society. So suicide is just now that it's been talked about in our society, but we don't have sessions to discuss about society, suicide most often within our midst previously. So the sensitization are going on and then issues to help people to find themselves in a meaningful situation are been going on. It will take some time, but I think gradually with effort put together, we'll get to somewhere.
But then having to say that a man shouldn't cry